Good morning, everyone. Today's going to be kind of a yin-ish practice. Boy, even with the lights on, it's dark over here. Um, so if you have some pillows or bolster, blanket, um, blocks, go ahead and grab those. And then find a nice spot to sit. And however that feels good to you. And if you want to lay down, it's going to be that kind of practice, right? You can just chill. So if you want to lay down, go ahead and lay down for a moment. And when we're ready to get moving more, you can come up to a seat. Um, so today, was thinking about, we're kind of at this end of the year hustle bustle, some celebrating holidays, family stuff, just kind of the general craziness of this time of the year. And if we can tap back into the breath, if we can bring ourselves back into the present moment, we will serve ourselves so much by doing so. So as we either sit or lay down, go ahead and tap into your breath. And I want to read, I have two quotes here, but the first one is by Jill Hessen. And she says, "Your breath is your anchor to the present moment." So with your eyes closed, I want you to tap into your breath and know that your breath is your anchor to the present moment. And anytime you feel yourself racing into the future or diving into the past, if you can bring yourself back to the breath, you will find that anchor, that present moment awareness. And as you breathe in, allow the belly to be soft and full. And as you exhale, that belly button draws in toward the spine, taking the breath in. And exhaling it out. And as you continue being aware of the breath, I'd like for you to count on your inhale, count up to the number 3. At the top of that 3, pause for 4. And on the exhale, count down to 5. So very simple, counting in for 3, pausing it for 4, exhaling for 5. Continuing that counted breath, inhaling, pausing, exhaling, and keep that going. You can play with the numbers. The goal is to have your exhale longer than your inhale so that we move into the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of our nervous system that feels safe, feels warm, the rest and digest part of our nervous system. So we make the exhale longer than the inhale. We breathe in. We pause. We exhale. Three more rounds. And your last round. And wherever you are, open your eyes, maybe smile a little bit. If you are laying down, perhaps you bring your knees to your chest, rock side to side, and allow the knees to roll to one side and then come on up to a seat. And the second quote, I know I've read this one before, it's by Thich Nhat Hanh. And he says, breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. So again, that breath as anchor, that breath as a place to come back to the present moment. With that inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale right to your heart. Interlace and press out as you round back, tuck. And then inhale, the arms rise up. Separate those hands, spread them out nice and wide. And release, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, take it up. Exhale right to your heart. Interlace, press out and curl in. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, release all the way down. Inhale. Exhale. Interlace, press it back. Inhale it up. Exhale, let it go. Last one, take it up. Exhale. Keep that exhale, curl it out. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, let go. Good, and roll that out, everybody. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, one hand down, the other one over. I want you to go slow here. So this is more of a yin practice. If you're sitting in a way that feels really uncomfortable, go ahead and change that out. Find the stretch and then just press the ribs out to the side. Let the arm go a little bit lower and then bring the ribs in and let the fingers point toward the ceiling. Good. Stretch it out and bring it up. Good. Stretch out and bring it up. Listen up. You're going to turn toward that knee and let that hand come down. So both hands are on the same side. Be very mindful here. Try to keep that opposite hip down on the floor. It's a little bit of a seated twist, but an interesting one, right? As we feel the stretch, if you're pressing down, if I'm mirroring here, if you're pressing down through your right hip and then the right arm reaches over to the left, you're going to find that stretch through your back. Don't overdo it. If it's too far a reach, that hand can come to your knee. And then same side arm, take it up, other arm up, squeeze, and exhale down. Good, roll your shoulders. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, take that hand down, reach over. Find that first stretch, that first pause, and then reach the side ribs out. Let the arm lower some, and then squeeze it in as the fingers point up. And stretch. And reach. Exhale, stretch. And lift up. And then reach over that knee, let the hand come down, adjust both of your hands. You might be on fingertips. You might be at the palms of the hands. Feel that opposite hip press down. Find your breath. And kind of notice, what do you feel on that opposite side as you reach the arm across? And take that arm up, everybody. And take the other arm up. Exhale, let go. Whew, good. Roll that out. Inhale, reach up. You're going to take those hands forward and just pause for a second and see how that feels in your body. Some of you have your legs straight, and that's awesome because it may be actually easier for some. Just be mindful of your back, whoever you are, wherever you are, and start to wiggle a little bit side to side. Go really easy here. And then decide for you if it makes sense to bring the hands forward. And then keep rocking. Don't go all the way just yet. Just see how it feels. Find that breath. Find the anchor. Find the grounding. And then maybe the hands come out more, maybe not. I'm still rocking a little bit side to side. And then find the depth that makes sense for you and find stillness and find your breath and notice. Good. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then one hand print at a time, bring yourself back up. Ooh, good. Roll your shoulders. Let's straighten those legs, especially if they've been crossed for all that time. And point flex the ankles. And find your breath. And then take one leg into Janu Sirsasana. So bending one knee, always, you know, right? You can use a block here, especially if the hips or the inner groin are tight. A block can be really helpful, really impactful. You can also use a strap here. If you would like a strap under that foot or around that foot, grab your strap and take it around the foot. Otherwise, we're going to inhale up. Exhale to our hearts. Interlace and round. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, swan dive. Ooh. And again, you know, I'm always cautious with forward folds. I don't deep dive. I certainly don't go fast. And I do my best not to over round in my back because that just puts pressure on those vertebrae. So how can we find the stretch or the pose or the breath without overdoing it? And then noticing what's going on with the bent knee, the bent leg. Is that causing restriction? Can you move the foot out? Can you lift the knee up? What is it that your body needs for you right now? Maybe you gently pull the hands back isometrically as the torso goes forward. And then again, we find that breath. Maybe we inhale for 3. We pause for 4. We exhale for 5. And then walk both hands inside the leg. And then walk both hands more at a diagonal and hold. Again, please be mindful of your backs. If you're down too low and you feel a tug on your back, you're probably too low. So allow yourself to walk those hands back. Some of you are going to be able to drop to elbows here and breathe. And then press into your hands. Walk the hands back forward. Take that hand over the other leg and slide all the way up. Straighten the bent knee. Come to Dandasana. Hands are at your side. Just kind of notice slow practice today. Maybe we take the arms up. Maybe we lift the torso. This is kind of a counter pose for that forward fold, right? We're bringing the spine back into alignment here as we lift up, as the crown of the head reaches up. And then exhale, let it go. Good. Same thing, other side. Let's come to Janu. One leg straight, one leg bent, that leg supported any way that you need to. You can always have that block underneath your knee. Inhale, take it up. Exhale to your heart. Interlace, press back and round. Inhale and lift. Exhale, swan dive forward. And I always marvel, it doesn't matter how much I stretch, how much yoga I do, this leg is always tighter than the other side. Always. It is how I am built. So I just pay attention. I notice. I don't let it tug at my back. Maybe the hands isometrically pull back. But I'm going to bring the breath in, right? So this practice today is about being aware of the breath and bringing it back into your move, your practice, your pose every single time you think about it. And breathe. And then take the outside hand, bring it to the inside. Pause, see how that feels. Still okay, walk the hands more diagonally and pause and breathe. Watch that the head isn't doing a deep dive toward the floor. Maybe take that breath of 3 in, pause, exhale. Maybe you drop to elbows on this side, maybe not. Ooh, that's a little too tight. Breathe. And then walk the hands forward. Take that hand over the other leg and come on up, everybody. Straighten that leg, shake it out. Whew. Goodness gracious. Good. And then take both feet to Baddha Konasana and grab your block. We are going to move a bit more than this. It's coming, I promise. But for now, take one block under each knee. It can be higher, right? It depends on where your knees are right now. So make sure that they are supported. Hold on to your ankles, lift your chest. Find your breath. Notice if you are bored. Notice if you're thinking about your grocery list. And if you weren't before, you are now. Breathe. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart, round out. Interlace, press out, lift up. Exhale, swan dive, careful here. Hands come forward. Maybe they don't, right? This is a big stretch for the inner thighs, and we can overdo that forwardness and we can over round the back. So just be mindful. Woo. Right? Maybe you wiggle a little side to side and give those inner thighs permission to open up a little bit. And breathe. And just wait. Imagine that, right? Just waiting. Just being patient. I listened to a great podcast. I think I sent it out to everybody. And he talks about getting off our screens, getting off of our social media and being present with what is and being willing to be bored. Breathe. And then reach up. Take the arms up. Take the knees up. Woo. Straighten both legs. Dandasana pose. Breathe. Get tall, everybody. Squeeze the low belly in. And exhale and let that go. Good. Shake that out. Bring those blocks to the front of your mat. If you need to cushion your knees, go ahead and put that blanket underneath your knees. And take your hands to your blocks and take them up at the second level. Once you're there, step forward with your right leg. And then take the blocks up to your highest level. So interesting, again, most yoga classes, we're moving and grooving, right? We're getting things opened up, but not slowly, quickly. And so today, my focus is on slowing it down and just seeing what is actually happening. Now, in a lunge, I always caution that you can go deep, but don't overshoot if my right leg's forward, it'd be my left hip. I'm not going to deep dive into the front of that hip. I'm going to keep the integrity of that hip the whole time, even if I'm stretching, even if I'm trying to find a depth to this pose. So the back glute is active. I've got a tiny tuck of the pelvis just to keep everything where it should be. And then same thing, you're going to inhale here and exhale, reach back. You can flex your foot. You can bow down toward that leg and then inhale and bend. And when you bend, look up, open up. Yeah, and exhale. Full breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Hold it here, everybody. Maybe the blocks drop down to the second level. I'm purposefully keeping you up high. The torso gets long, the heel, that front heel digs in to create that stretch. And then bend the knee. And release both sides. Good. Left leg steps forward. We're back in that lunge. We're back in that integrity, right? We feel the stretch maybe through that front quad or that really back quad, but we aren't just popping through that joint. Just find your breath. Notice. Hold on. Breathe. And then again, exhale as you stretch it back. I want full, deep breaths here. Inhale, long inhale. Bend the knee. Exhale. Inhale, everyone. Exhale. One more. And exhale, stretch it out. Find your breath. Breathe. Maybe dig the heel in. Notice. And then inhale, bend the knee. Slide that leg back. Move your blocks just to your sides and come into a nice puppy stretch. Dropping the chest, dropping the forehead, stretching out through the arms. Noticing. And then push into your hands, lift part way up and walk your hands to the right. Drop back down and stretch through the left arm, the left armpit, the side of the chest, through the lymph nodes. Take a deep breath, everyone. Push into your hands, come part way up, walk through the middle, all the way over to the left. Move your blocks out of the way if they're there. And drop down again. And breathe. Push into your hands, come back to the middle. Press up into table pose. Step forward with your left leg. You can grab your blocks again. This time, either lift your back knee or keep it on the ground. And just pause for a second here. Your blocks are low or second. They can be high too, as long as they feel stable. And then exhale again as you round. And inhale as you lift. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale as you lift. Good, last one. Inhale as you lift. Take your left hand block, bring it to the inside. Hold your pose, your knee is up or down. Take both blocks and diagonal them out to the side. Hold, watch your pose, watch your front knee. Judy, especially watch the front knee. Strong, powerful back leg if that knee is lifted. Keep the left hip training over to the left. And then walk the blocks to the center. Walk the blocks so that other one is on the other side of your foot. Lower your knee and slide that leg back. Whew. And bring the other leg forward. So interesting, right? You're going to feel what these legs feel like when we're done with all of this. So we're here again. Back knee is up or down, your choice. If it's up, make sure that glute is active. Make sure the hip and leg are active. And when you're ready, exhale as you straighten. Inhale as you bend. Exhale as you straighten. Inhale. Exhale. Hold. Just breathe, everybody. And then inhale as you bend. Find that lunge. Right hand block walks inside the right foot. Breathe. And then both blocks walk over to the left. Just be careful. Make sure they're stable. Make sure you're not leaning everything to the left, like your right knee or your right hip. Woo. Breathe. Belly tuck. And walk the blocks back to your center. Take that one block outside your foot. Lower your knee. Slide the other knee back. Move your blocks out of the way and find any version of child's pose, hero pose, belly, or seat that you'd like. Use your breath. Find the anchor. Find the anchor. Good. When you're ready, outstretch the arms. Come on up, table pose, everybody. Step forward with your left leg. Lift your right knee. Step forward with your right foot. You're coming into a forward fold. Take the feet maybe wider on your yoga mat. Your hands can be on the floor. They can be on your blocks. They can be on your shins. And rock it side to side. Breathe. Find your breath. Let the head hang. You know who you are. And breathe. And notice. What happens when we give ourselves permission to be in the present moment, when we feel sensation, we feel the stretch, we feel our breath. And then bend the knees, not a ton, but a little bit, and walk your hands to the right. Ooh, keep the softness in the knees. Again, if your hands don't reach the floor, they're either on blocks or you're just taking your hands to the right shin, okay? So don't feel like you got to bend so far if you don't want to.
And then hands are center. And then hands walk to the left. Make sure the knees are softly bent. And then hands are center. Soften the knees. Step back, right leg. Whew. Lower that right knee if you would like. Otherwise, take the hands up to your left knee and come into a high lunge. Be very mindful here. And breathe. Take the arms up. Find your breath. Take your left hand to the left hip and stretch the right arm over toward the left. Breathe. Yes, it gets real tricky here. Take the arms up. Take your hands to your heart. Interlace, curl back. It's a small curl, right? Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to knee. Straighten the leg. Careful here, especially the gal right in front of me. Hands to the floor. Ooh, big balance work there. Bend your front knee. Either change position or step back down dog. Shake it out. And when you're ready, step forward, right leg. Find your breath. Knee up or knee down. Take your hands to your knee. Find your balance. Take the arms up. Squeeze your back glute. Take your hand to your hip and stretch to that side. It's amazing how that can throw your balance. Breathe. Take both arms up. Hands to heart. Interlace. Curl back a little bit. Inhale, reach up. Good. Breathe. Exhale. Start to take the front leg straight as you slowly lower down. Ooh, that's a tricky transition there. Bend your front knee. Step back to down dog. We are coming to mountain pose, so you know who you are. Maybe we stay upright. Breathe, everybody. Take the feet wide on your mat and walk those hands back. Bend both knees, hands to knees. I want you to look up and then stand up. And just shake it out and see how, like, whew, shake out those legs. Like, what just happened? And it's amazing to me that even though you may have thought we stretched the heck out of the hamstrings, what you may feel is the stretch through the front legs also, right? So pretty cool stuff. All right, so really easy here. We're going to do just a little bit of chair pose work. So find your feet hips width apart. Inhale, reach up. Listen up. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlace and press as you squat. And breathe. Try to keep the chest up. Try to keep the belly toned. And then inhale, look up and lift. Exhale, swan dive down. You don't have to go all the way. Inhale, look up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, look up, bend your knees, and come on up. And exhale, let go. All right, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart, come on down. Interlace and press out. Inhale, look up, take those arms up, find that chair pose, and then stand all the way up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale it down. Inhale, halfway up. Bend the knees and come on up. Exhale to your heart. And mountain pose. Shake it out. How'd that feel?
Let's do just one more. Inhale. Exhale to your heart. Come on down to your squat. Chair pose. Interlace, press out. Breathe. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale it down. Inhale, bend the knees and take it up. And exhale all the way. And shake it out, everybody. Whew. Nice job, nice job, nice job. All right, tree pose. My hair's like all over the place because I didn't put it up today. So tree pose again. So taking tree pose as a almost restorative pose. So if you're near a wall, want to be near a wall, what I want is that same sense of grounding and breath work. And then we're going to take everything to the floor. So pick your favorite leg and come into your version of tree pose and take the hands just to the heart. And see if you can tap into the breath as the anchor for your pose. And breathe. Maybe you find the ease. Maybe you embrace the wobble. Just breathe. Find that still spot. And bring the knee forward and shake it out. Let go. Feel free to come with your back to the wall. I mean, there's so many beautiful versions of tree pose that are a bit more supported than are just standing in space. And it's all good. It's all good, especially at the end of the year when we're all just trying to get there, right? So present moment, switching legs. Take that other leg into your version of tree. The hands stay at the heart. Woo. Interesting. Find your breath. Where's your anchor? And then bring the knee forward and let it go. And shake it out, everybody. All right, so we're going to come down to the floor. Just gather your proppy things and bring them close by so that once we get there, you're not chasing after them. And back to the front of your mat. And Betty, I would come down in your most yogi way. Inhale, everybody, take it up. Exhale, take it down. Step back to downward facing dog as an option. Pause again in down dog. Find it, that steady rock of a pose that keeps us grounded, feet, hands. Breathe. And then inhale, tippy toes. Exhale to your knees. Whew. And release to a seat once again. So this time you might want to have your blankets, your blocks, whatever it is for you. And we're going to come into in yin what would be called a half butterfly. So we were in a sort of that pose already. So one leg in and one leg out at a diagonal. This would be the half butterfly part. Again, block, right? Or sitting up on a blanket. And then maybe you put your pillows or your blanket, or for some, it would be your blocks and your pillows right in front of you. So yin, some of the principles of yin, I'm not an expert, are to come into a pose at a depth that makes sense for you, and then to hold the pose. And for us, I would like to invite the breath into this pose. So we are here, we are grounded. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, you're going to do that same swan dive, and then maybe you just take your elbows to your pillows or to your blocks and you wait. And you breathe. And I would invite you once again to bring in that 3, 4, 5 count of the breath. Breathing in for 3, holding for 4, exhaling for 5. And if you find that where you started is too deep, you come higher. You can be on your hands. If you find that where you started is not really anything, then I would go a little bit lower. But maybe here in the practice today, we cultivate some patience, some attention, the willingness to be present with whatever is. Maybe where you are, you can hear the wind. Or your breath. Wherever you are, start to come out slowly, lifting up, sitting nice and tall, and then bringing the straight leg in and the bent knee out. And starting back at the beginning, like all good yogis, right? Starting back at the beginning. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Pause. Breathe. If there is pain, change something. You may be too wide. You may be too far forward. Find your breath, everyone. Can we find this moment? From wherever you are, press up. I want you to bring both legs together. Pause. If you have blocks there or anything there, you can just give them a little squeeze. You don't have to move them. So counter pose, right? We did this wide leg. We're bringing the legs into counter pose here. And then the last one here, both legs. Again, please be mindful. I tend to take my props up nice and high. If all you have is a couple of blocks, you can stack one on top of the other. A nice way for some, especially if you know yin, is you could get to a point where you can rest your forehead on something, but it has to feel good. It has to feel grounding, purposeful, and okay for your spine. Breathe. Notice. Wherever you are, press up so that the spine is really tall. Just move your props out of the way for a moment. Slide the legs together, bend your knees, lean back, and then take the feet wide and just little windshield wipering here. Ooh, those can be intense when you slow down that much and you go into those poses deeper. It can be quite intense. And so you want to be very mindful of your body. Good. The next time the knees are over to the left, go ahead and pause, reach up, reach over. It would be nice if you wanted your bolster, or sorry, I didn't cue that sooner, but if you wanted pillows or bolster or something in front of you, then as you twist into this pose, you can come on down and relax. It is a twist, so we're mindful there. You may not want to come down quite so low. You can also stack your blocks and then a pillow, so you're higher. Breathe, everyone. You can use a block under your forehead if that feels good. And notice what happens when we give ourselves permission to slow down, to be present. An article I read, paraphrasing, said we have
an epidemic of wanting to run away from what is, from what we feel, from what we're experiencing. And we run away through so many things like shopping or drinking or binge watching or screen time. And instead, maybe we can come back to the present and let those things we feel move through us, through our bodies. Wherever you are, slowly press up, be gentle. Come back to the middle. Rearrange your legs, windshield wiper them again. Maybe move your pillows or your blocks to the other side. Just shake it all out. And then let the knees go to the other side. Twist toward that front thigh. And then consider how far or how deep you want to go on this side. Maybe you stay at the elbows. Maybe you stay at the hands. Maybe you take it all the way down to the floor. Soften down. Allow the breath to be your anchor. Let go of everything that is not right now. Every thought, every tension. Wherever you are, start to press up. Take your body back to the center. Ooh. Bring the legs back and straighten them to a little baby Dandasana, not as strong as what would normally be, but bringing those legs back together. Nice flex of the feet, nice tall spine. Take a deep breath. So the next one we won't hold for as long, but it is a little bit of a back bend. It's Sphinx pose. I invite you to cushion up. So I'm going to take my blanket. If you have a bolster, the bolster would be ideal. But I'm going to take the blanket, actually probably take it so it's on the width of my yoga mat. And then I'm going to take the pillows, but the pillows, for at least one of you, the pillows may be right under hips, okay? And I think you know who you are. But otherwise, the pillows or the bolster actually rests on the belly, not on the hips. And it creates a little
kind of like a training wheel or a little bumper so that your pose isn't as deep. So you're going to come down to your belly, come down to your hips. Your bolster pillows are going to rest right at the ribs and the chest. And then you're going to find your Sphinx pose. You may want one block. And you may want to take the feet wider than your normal. For a lot of people, this feels really good. If it doesn't, please change something with the blankets or the bolster underneath your ribs. You can usually relax a little bit more. And then your block could be either for your head, if you want to take it down really low, your block is either high or second level, or you're just going to hold your pose and close your eyes and find your breath again and breathe. And maybe send love messages to your spine. And notice what you feel. Breathe, everybody. And then wherever you are, I want you to lower your upper body all the way down. You can lay over your pillows unless they're too big. Just lay flat down. And then press into your knees to lift yourself up. If you want to do a quick child's pose, you can, but I'd like to invite you to try this instead, to move those pillows down to the hips, even if you've got a bolster, which could be too high at this point, so that you are cushioned here right at the hips and then drop down again. So this is a lovely restorative pose. You can rest your hands or your head on your hands. You can turn your head to one side. That also creates just a little bit of traction on the lower spine. Deep breath, everyone.
Allow your lower back to traction, to stretch, and create space here. Good. Slowly release this. I know everybody's probably ready for a nap. Come on out. We're going to do one last pose, and this may morph into Shavasana. So if you have a bolster, Cease, let me borrow your bolster just so I can demo. If you have a bolster, which is lovely, I would take a bolster and I would take your block under the head of your bolster, probably long ways. And then you could take your pillows if you happen to have those. You're going to lay back on the bolster. You might not get yours back. And then you could take the pillows either under your knees or into a really sweet little Baddha Konasana. Okay. If you don't have a bolster, and I do have one, but I know a lot of people don't, I'm going to take both of my blocks and stack them. And then I'm probably going to cushion them up with some pillows. And then I may even use my blanket at the very top so that my head is a little higher than the rest of me. And I'm going to take that into, yeah, the bottom block. So when I do that, the bottom block is a little pressy. So I think I'm going to take that completely out. You just want a little incline if you can find it. Ah, that's better. So that your head is higher and that you feel comfortable. The legs can be in Baddha Konasana or they can be straight, or you can do a little bit of both. But you should feel like this is a restorative pose. So take your time to find it. It's going to depend on how thick your pillows are, what you have available. And then we come to this place and we wait again. Maybe we bring the breath in and then exhale longer. And we know that in this present moment, it is a wonderful moment. Maybe we feel ourselves sinking down more. Knowing all we have is this present moment. All we have is this breath.
You are still in Baddha Konasana lay. You may wish to straighten those legs out. Coming back to the present moment over and over again. If you are still with me and you're ready to get moving, just bend your knees. Allow your feet to come to the floor. Take your hands to your belly. Feel your feet making contact with the earth through the mat. Feel your grounding once again. Draw the knees in toward your chest. And just pause here for a second. If you're up on blocks and bolsters, please be mindful as you allow the body to roll over to one side. And then very slowly press all the way up. And come to a seat. May the rest of your holidays be mindful, be present, be purposeful, and be wonderful. And I know I'll see you all again before the end of the year. Bring your hands to your heart. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming to practice today.